Some people don't cry out loud. They disappear into silence, and that silence is pain. If you've ever gone quiet or loved someone who did, this matters, because quiet is rarely nothing. Some people go quiet because pain feels too big for words. Their mind is full, but their mouth shuts down. They are not calm. They are flooded. And here's what people miss. Silence can feel safer than speaking. Think about the last time you were deeply hurt. Did you want to explain everything, or just hide for a minute? But here's the truth. Going quiet is often a survival move. It's the nervous system saying, "I can't carry this out loud." So instead of talking, they shut the door inside. This is where it gets interesting. Maybe they say, "I'm fine," and disappear. That silence is not empty. It's packed with pain. Pay attention to this. Silence can be a shield. Some people learned that words make pain worse. They spoke before and got judged, mocked, or ignored. So now their brain remembers talking is dangerous. Even in safe relationships, that old alarm still goes off. They want comfort, but they expect damage. But here's the truth. They pull back right when they need closeness most. Imagine a man who was told to man up every time he cried. As an adult, pain hits him, and his first habit is silence. Not because he feels nothing, but because he was trained to hide everything. Or picture a woman who opened up once and got called dramatic. Now her hurt feels real, but her voice feels risky. This is where it gets interesting. Silence is not always weakness. Sometimes silence is self-protection in its purest form. If talking feels like standing naked in a storm, people go quiet. They would rather look cold than feel exposed. And that choice can happen in seconds. Now, here's the next layer. Another reason people go quiet is because they fear saying the wrong thing. Pain makes thoughts messy. Emotions crash into each other. Anger mixes with sadness. Love mixes with resentment. And when everything is mixed, words come out sharp. But here's the truth. Silence can feel cleaner than chaos. It gives them a few seconds of control, a few seconds to stop the damage from spreading. You may call it withdrawal. They may call it holding themselves together. Pay attention to this. Picture a couple after a hard argument. One person keeps talking fast. The other suddenly says nothing and looks away. That quiet person may not be done. They may be trying not to explode. Pay attention to this. Not every silent person is punishing you. Some are protecting the part of them that feels out of control. They know one wrong sentence could turn hurt into destruction, so they choose distance over damage. Now here comes the deeper layer. Some people go quiet because they never learned emotional language. They feel pain in the body, not in words. Tight chest, heavy stomach, tired eyes. But ask them what they feel, and they freeze. Not because they are lying, but here's the truth. Childhood matters more than most people think. If feelings were ignored at home, silence became normal. If emotions caused conflict, quiet became smart. If vulnerability got punished, numbness became strength. So later in life, pain shows up, and the old script takes over. They shut down before they even understand why. Imagine a child hearing, Stop crying, it's not a big deal. That child grows up, gets heartbroken, and says nothing. On the outside, they seem distant. On the inside, they feel abandoned by their own voice. Pay attention to this. You cannot express what you were never allowed to feel. And many quiet adults were once emotional children who had to shrink. So now, silence feels familiar. Familiar can feel safe, even when it hurts. Another reason people go quiet is control. Pain makes life feel random. Silence creates a small, private room. In that room, nobody can interrupt, correct, or judge. For a wounded mind, that feels powerful. This is where it gets interesting. Quiet can be the last thing they own. When trust feels shaky, privacy feels like oxygen. So they protect their thoughts like locked doors. They tell themselves, if I keep